This presentation introduces the concept of neuromotor learning and coordination through the alternating overhead throw, with particular emphasis on feedback mechanisms, proprioception, interoception, and the concept of freezing the degrees of freedom. These aspects are explored as they relate to improving movement efficiency, developing neuromotor coordination, and refining motor skills. The presentation provides a detailed explanation of how feedback joint control and body awareness can enhance physical performance, especially for beginners. Feedback mechanisms in neuromotor learning, the alternating overhead throw, is structured to incorporate two key types of feedback: knowledge of results, KR, and knowledge of performance, KP. These feedback types are vital for refining motor skills and ensuring progress in coordination. Knowledge of results, KR, refers to the feedback about the outcome of a movement. In the context of the alternating overhead throw, KR can involve understanding whether the participant has successfully completed the intended movement pattern, such as the proper form of the lunge or the range of arm motion. Feedback on KR allows the participant to understand the effectiveness of their performance in achieving the goal. Integrating KR into exercise routines also enhances engagement and motivation by providing clear, actionable outcomes. Knowledge of performance, on the other hand, is more focused on the execution of the movement itself. Feedback here pertains to how well the body is performing each segment of the movement sequence, including awareness of body alignment, breath synchronization, and balance. This helps individuals fine-tune the execution of each phase. Knowledge of performance improves motor control by addressing how specific techniques are performed. The emphasis on KP also contributes to improving proprioception, which is vital for overall body control and reducing movement errors. Both KR and KP are crucial for improving motor performance by offering insights into what is working and what needs adjustment. By receiving real-time feedback, participants can make minor corrections, ensuring the development of more efficient and effective movement patterns. Proprioception and interoception in the movement sequence. Proprioception refers to the body's ability to sense its position in space, including joint angles, muscle tension, and movement direction. In the alternating overhead throw, proprioception plays a key role in guiding movement and ensuring body parts are in the correct position. For example, as participants lunge and pivot, they must maintain an awareness of their feet placement, joint alignment, and movement of their arms, ensuring that the body remains balanced and coordinated. This sensory feedback is essential for executing movement with precision. Physiopedia suggests that enhancing proprioception improves postural control and movement efficiency, which is essential for neuromotor learning. Interoception, on the other hand, refers to internal perception of the body states, such as heart rate, respiration, and muscle fatigue. During the alternating overhead throw, interoception is key for maintaining the rhythm of breathing and understanding how the body feels at any given moment. The slow, deep breaths used during the movement guide participants to be more in tune with their physiological responses, allowing them to adjust the pace or intensity of the exercise as needed to avoid strain or discomfort. This heightened awareness of internal body states helps with optimizing movement and performance. Furthermore, the integration of interoception into exercise routines promotes mental clarity and helps in managing stress. Together, proprioception and interoception enable participants to connect their mental awareness with their physical movements, which enhances coordination and ensures that movements are executed in a fluid, controlled manner. Freezing the degrees of freedom, joint control and release. For a novice, the concept of freezing the degrees of freedom refers to temporarily limiting the range of movement in certain joints to simplify the motor learning process. In the context of the alternating overhead throw, certain joints are frozen or restricted to ensure stability during the early stages of learning. At the beginning of the movement, joints such as the ankles, knees, and hips may be frozen to create a more stable base of support. This helps the individual focus on the upper body movement, particularly the arms and torso. Limiting the movement of these joints reduces complexity and allows for more control over the motion, making the skill easier to learn. By controlling the movement of the lower limbs, participants can develop a better understanding of upper body motion while avoiding unnecessary movements that could hinder proper form. Once the movement pattern becomes more consistent and controlled, the frozen joints are gradually released in a specific order. First, the ankles and knees are allowed to move more freely, which facilitates better balance and fluidity in the lunge. Next, the hips are released to enable more fluid transition between lunges and expanded range of motion in the lower body. Finally, the shoulders and arms are released, allowing for a smoother and more natural overhead movement. This process of controlled release helps the body gradually adapt to the complexity of movement while maintaining stability and coordination. According to Physiopedia, this process aligns with how neuromotor training allows for joint mobility improvement over time. By freezing certain joints, progressively releasing them, the participant can efficiently master the mechanics of the movement, ensuring proper coordination and a smoother progression toward more complex movement patterns. This approach is essential for anyone new to movement or neuromotor training as it breaks down the task into manageable steps to success. The role of feedback in improving neuromotor coordination. The integration of feedback, both knowledge of results and knowledge of performance, supports the release of degrees of freedom in a way that optimizes learning. As feedback is provided during each phase of the movement, the participant can refine their technique and improve proprioception and interoception. This enables the overall coordination of the movement, resulting in greater fluidity and efficiency. Studies show that the integration of real-time feedback accelerates motor learning by reinforcing correct movements and enabling quicker adjustments. The feedback also plays a crucial role in helping the participant understand when to release specific joints and how to balance their body throughout the movement. As the degrees of freedom are gradually released, the participant's body becomes more attuned to the mechanics of the movement and their motor skills improve over time. This is especially true when the feedback is aligned with the body's proprioceptive and interoceptive cues, reinforcing the connection between internal sensation and external movement. The alternating overhead throw serves as an effective movement sequence for improving neuromotor learning and coordination through careful integration of feedback mechanisms, proprioception, interoception, and the controlled release of frozen joints. By using knowledge of results and knowledge of performance feedback, participants can refine their movement patterns and enhance body awareness. Through proprioception and interoception, they develop a deeper connection between their body and mind, leading to a better coordination and movement efficiency. Finally, the concept of freezing and gradually releasing the degrees of freedom allows for a structured and accessible approach to mastering complex movements. By focusing on these elements, individuals can improve their neuromotor control and coordination, making this exercise an invaluable tool for physical and mental well-being. Hello there, I'm Brian Anthony, the Metabolic Nostradamus, using philosophy and science as your exercise physiologist. The first move I teach is the alternating overhead throw, with benefits like cardio and HIIT, but the magic is the meditative flow. Movement can be healing, so pay close attention to how the body feels using all those muscles and tendons, how they lengthen and shorten while you move and react like you're in a dark room feeling out your path. With your breath as your guide, the slower pace can be soothing. Slow, deep breaths synchronized with the moving. Just set a comfortable pace with no competition. It's a moving meditation with alternating repetition, gently pumping the heart for total body circulation we energize the brain, enhancing neuromotor coordination. Some joints will be frozen, then continue the flow, building up the sequence little bits as we go. Let's begin with standing tall like the hero is rising. Heads up, eyes forward on your relative horizon. Keep the ears over shoulders and extend the upper back with your hips tucked under. Now you're on the right track. You can introduce some music, but find your own beat, 'cause better balance is found when you can feel your feet. So sense your big and little toes and then the heel. Connected through the arch, but keep it even keel. Put your feet parallel and shoulder width apart, pushing out your hands like you do a shopping cart. Now, with your knees bent, just lean your hips over. Most of your weight is beneath your head and shoulders. Now, take a big breath in and pivot out the heel. Point your toes away, then lunge in to feel like you're surfing through a curl of a cresting wave under the big blue sky on a sunny day. Now breathe out and swing your arms behind you. Open up your chest, busting chains that bind you. And as we bring the arms overhead, we're gonna lean and lunge to the other side instead. And as we turn around with one swift motion, what you know you don't need goes back to the ocean. So be kind, rewind, then reset your stance. We no longer have to march, so loosen up and dance with your fire from below, with the phoenix as she blazes. Then let the dragon rain down, washing tension from our faces. It's when I get my body to move in all the right places. I'll be strong every day if I just balance the basics.